Time for the Sip Show, guys. Uh, before I bring on our host, HeroGamer, I just want to let everybody know that this song that you're listening to right now, this funky joint right here, was produced by HeroGamer for this show specifically. I think you guys need to know that. Give Hero some props because this is a fine tune, by the way. And without ado, it might be a little conversation, so I'll drive it down. We'll bring on the man himself. What's up, Hero? How you doing today, man?
Yo, what's up?
What's going on?
What's going on?
Happy Sip Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday. I don't know. Sip, it just keeps popping up, on your mouth, on my mouth. It's always sipping.
There's always, you know what? It's because we're in an ecosystem that's constantly growing and iterating. There's a lot of big brains working on a lot of big solutions to some real world problems here.
Uh-huh.
So that might be why it keeps popping up.
Yeah. Anybody else joining, but just us?
I'm not sure if GP's with us or not. I know he's in the studio, but I'm not sure if he's at his computer actually. But it might just be you and me. I asked Orange. Hattie said he's got some stuff he's tied up with, so might be just the two of us. But we'll make it work. We'll make it work. I know. I think GP will probably be joining us as well.
Cool. So, welcome everybody to the weekly Sip Call. I had a quick look up today. How many calls has there been since I sort of started? So we are actually roughly, I don't want to say exact, but roughly on episode 150.
Wow, that's almost 3 years, bro.
Yeah, so 2 years ago I posted like the notes. It was 49, and it's 2 years plus. So I think it's been 122 weeks since. So probably maximum up to 122 episodes edition. But I don't think we did 122.
No, there are definitely a couple of weeks. Not many.
Not many.
No, every so often we skipped.
But I'm just going to conservatively say we added 101. So 101 plus 49 is 150. I think it's probably fair. Probably more, but who cares?
Probably more, but yeah, that's I don't count how many episodes of DeOrganized we've done either because it's just so many at this point. Like why count? But we've done. I mean, the SIP call is a staple, and honestly, it's the whole reason why I understand that SIP exists is because you were doing those weekly calls way back when, and so it's
I think some things are worth continuing, some things are not. Like, if it was for lesser, let's say, critical stuff, and if we didn't care about governance as much, or if it was just about like some minor things that don't reoccur, I probably wouldn't say it's worth having. So I was having a conversation with the foundation about SIP calls, like just for the past couple of weeks, and I think we all land on the same page that I think it's worth continuing having. So we're gonna continue that. So that's really good. Like foundation is gonna, continuing to focus on governance, and whoever wants to hold the calls to call can host the calls. But in the meantime, I think I'm probably like in pretty good position to continue that, and I enjoy doing it. I enjoy talking to you, enjoy talking to Hattie and anybody. Actually, Orange is one of the new guys. I love to get him more involved, but just anybody like that, like the not younger piece, the earlier piece in your journey. That's what I love to get more of. But anyways, and one of the so actually I'll stop there. Um,
Yeah, well, I'll say this. I think we do have a growing group of people that are becoming more contributory to the calls, and I think we should probably maybe even try to reach out to a few more people in the ecosystem and just say, hey, you want to come, because Dan joins us every so often, and Rosar joins us every so often, and we got Bryce on a couple of times. We're starting to get more regular with the SIP authors coming on. We've had Frieger, we've had Larry, so it's growing. It's definitely growing. It's a movement now, I'd say.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, and I think there's a good conversation to be had with the foundation about future engagements, and that's related to what I will talk about next about my the shift of my role, because foundation is now stepping in to really almost like oversee the whole operation of governance. So it won't just be me we talking to about all this great suggestion. Will involve the the foundation more closely. So I think on the whole that's a good thing because it's their incentive to really make the experience really good and like you said get more contributors.
Right. Well, and they
Okay.
also the foundation has a unique perspective on governance and SIP, from their position. So it's going to bring a different perspective than we get from the community and from you and Patty and the people that contribute.
Yeah, for sure. And that brings me to that brings me to probably like we're gonna make the SIPCO a little bit more organized again. I think we always been fairly organized, but I'm gonna bring more agenda into the mix, better documentation into the mix, and recaps. I actually used to write the recaps of each code and then post them to GitHub. But the challenge is, as you know, nobody goes to GitHub to read. But
Right.
the information is there, so I'm gonna try again, revive that, but in Stacks forum, so
Well, and
that
you're right. We could post it to both.
yes, exactly. But I think forum probably the first point of contact, and
Yeah,
then
that
we'll
makes sense.
link.
Like they put the stack snacks in there, and then you can get in a cool conversation about those things too. So that makes sense, I think.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna try and do that. Um, So on today's call, let's talk about like a few things I want to bring up. SIP 32, SIP 33 just concluded the votes. Second item is the stuff that I proposed in improving the SIP process. And the other topic I want to bring up is just a bit of explanation of my role shift, so that you know what you're working with, piece. And
Yeah.
then we can talk about how we will be able to collaborate with Foundation in the future, a little bit more closely on things that in my purview and outside of my purview, let's say.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. So, first thing first, SIP 33 has concluded. I don't know if you can bring up the post from Stacks Foundation of the
Oh,
voting
yeah.
results.
Let me find that. Hold on. I was going to bring up I have the vote screen ready, but let me actually.
Actually, yeah, I mean, maybe with the tweet, I have it here. If you want, I can screen share.
Yeah, share it, please.
Okay. I'll just share my window. Can you see?
Yes, sir.
Can you see?
Yep.
Cool. So yeah, here. Where was that? Oh yeah, here. So good news. SIP 33 has been approved. Uh, we still need to double check the results, but the result we're talking about like 5 SCX here and there, minor differences. We want to just nail that down so that the result is basically undistributed accurate. So that tends to happen on every vote, because we're using a new platform working with block survey team on the ballot vote. So we're gonna just double check that. And what I will do next is I will post the results into into just like any consensus fork. I actually write up the result into the SIP. That has always been what I did. Like you can see here, this is SIP 31. Can you see?
Yep.
Yeah, so every SIP, consensus voting SIP, I do post something like this into the SIP itself, so that when you're reading the SIP 31, you can always understand who signed off, which cab signed off, um, and the specification of the SIP and the result of the SIP, so that we can basically just have a well documented thing to say this has been thoroughly passed, let's say. Cool.
That's so that gets added afterwards. Like
Yeah, yes. I just sort of manually go into the SIP and submit like a PR or a suggestion and get this added in, and make sure there's like a script attached to it so that anybody can go and check and verify basically. So if you look at here, there's like a little script file, zip file for SIP 31 on the left here. Here, I'll zoom in. So in each folder, maybe SIP 28 will have it, or let's say 21. You can see this is the SIP text, but there's like various other attachments, and one of which will be the script zip file. So I'm trying to get that down and nailed so that, just like the documentation loose end will be tidied up. So that's what I actually part of my responsibilities piece. I don't know who is doing that in the future, but for this one, I'll do it. Peace. Hello, hello.
Sorry, I'm here, but I actually somehow I clicked on the video in the X channel for so you were hearing yourself on a slight delay. I think maybe.
Okay.
Mouse tracker. My cursor keeps periodically freezing on me. So
Oh, good. Any question? And just to confirm, SIP 34 is to activate the same time as SIP 33. So we voted on SIP 33 and SIP 34 at the same time. And here is another doc for SIP 34. I don't know if you have any question about any of this.
I don't have any questions on it. I'm pretty aware of it. We reported on it and drove as much vote activity as we could through here. I will say this: I think that the new vote platform is really good. You know, it was very easy to use. It has a lot of information on there. It much more intuitive, and then obviously it also gets over that issue we brought up, about a year ago with the you have to vote twice if you have stacking versus unstacked and all that stuff. So a lot of the friction has been removed from the process. It was super easy to vote.
I mean, we removed that in the previous platform, but I think you probably don't get as much details like this one does.
Right. Well, it wasn't tracking, like you couldn't see now you can actually see how the vote's going throughout the process.
Yeah. I think historically it has been a conversation about how about if we just don't, so that people don't feel like, if in the U.S. election is so leaning towards one way, you might think, oh, as a citizen, I'm not like influential enough to do anything about it, so you don't go out to vote. So
Right.
that was the
Right.
philosophical intention behind not showing. But now this time we tried showing, it doesn't seem to have made any material differences. Maybe we are probably just overthinking the psychology part behind it.
Right. If people are there to vote, they're going to probably vote. You
Hmm.
know. Um, and it also does give us a prop to kind of shout out when we're promoting the vote and the process and everything too. So I think I like having it.
Yeah, yeah. I think now having experience like seeing like these transactions, let's say displayed, and it's kind of interesting information. I think it's perfectly fine to keep trialing having more display data, um, personally. But I think that's something that, again, foundation will probably need to pick up on a overall strategy level to see how we're gonna deal with that next time.
Right on, right on.
Right on. So yeah, that's just the first thing to, because I don't think we've talked about it publicly about the results yet. So yeah, let's just get that out. And the second one, I just want to draw people's attention to it in case you haven't heard of it before. It's the proposal. Maybe there's too many sips in the name, but essentially is to improve the SIP process as it is today. And there is a GitHub link that you can read more about it. So my call to action is, if you're a SIP author, do chime in. Uh, oh, if you have been a SIP author, or if you have been a CAB member, do chime in. So please, you too. I think your governance CAB will be pretty key in this because you guys will need to approve it. People can suggest stuff, but I think with the SIP process, one of the consideration must be governance CAB.
Sure. Of course. It
So,
definitely, definitely. And so, um, is there a timeline you're hoping to have this process for? Obviously, the sooner the better. Um,
no, I don't think this it's sooner the better. I think I think that's the latest deadline would be by the next fork. We want to have this ready so that we can implement this process for the next fork.
and that's Freegers, right?
Yeah, I would say the closest would be Fridges. You're right. Unless like somehow other things, um, the core have in mind, which I don't know about. But as far as I know, I think Fridger is probably the closer one to finish in line. So we need to get that conversation back up. I don't know again who will be officially handling the conversation to get the SIP almost like conversation going. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's somebody at the foundation. Maybe it's somebody not at the foundation and not me. I don't know. So I think we just need to have a little bit more clarity as to the ownership of somebody like what I used to do to make sure all the SIP authors are supported and up to date, and be able to have their SIP keep advancing their SIP basically, especially if it's coming from a community, because we have SIPs that are coming from the core, but then we also have SIP coming from the community like Friggers and Larry.
Right. So if it's, I mean, I think that this process is important. That to codify some of these details, just to make it more obvious and more apparent what the process is, what the steps are, who needs to do what when. Um, like one of the instances we had with SIP 31 was it kind of went to a vote before all the cabs had actually completed their approvals. And now they all approved, so it all came through, but it was slightly disjointed. And part of that's because right now, there's no specific time frame from when a SIP gets proposed to when it gets presented to the cabs versus when it goes to a vote.
Yeah, no, there's no strict, like, let's say, time frame. And because it's looseness, um, that it can be exacerbated as and when, and that is or can be perceived as a slight sort of, like, not flaw, but something that could always be something that will throw things, will make things inconsistent when it comes to SIP to SIP. So I agree with you, and you are perfectly in a good position to reflect that along with other people to see whether we reach a consensus. Like, is this a good thing to actually specify to a degree of detail? In my opinion, I think it's worth it just to say this is the minimum, and I did write in there, actually, if you actually look, um, I did like give like an initial idea of the timeline what we are talking about. I think it was here. Yeah, so like cap review must be like 2 weeks minimum period.
Right, which is a ample time and
Yeah.
a reasonable amount of time. I don't think it's too long. I think it's just right, because sometimes it takes us a couple of days for us to even notice that there was a conversation going on in our chat. So giving us to 2 weeks to kind of coordinate, review it, have
Mhm.
our internal dialogue, and then reply, I think is exactly perfect.
Yeah, and I think I said something along the line here. If you read the SIP carefully, what I wrote: minimum wait time before public vote to allow comprehensive discussion, resolution of comments. If all comments have been addressed after cap review, it could be agreed to host a public vote earlier. However, it should not be expected, let's say.
Um, it should you have it at, it should be expected there. I
Oh,
think
right,
you
sorry.
in,
I need to change that.
yeah, I think you intended it.
That's
Yes,
what I meant, should not be expected.
yes. But I think that
You
all
get what I'm trying to say, right? I'm not saying like it has to be like dead six, like 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, or something like that. But
right. If
if
the cab comes back in a week, you
yeah,
don't wait 2 weeks for them to come back. Obviously,
exactly. There's no if there's no issues, why wait? Uh,
right, right. And so, but that would also, but I think a 6 week period and with before it goes to a public vote also makes sense because it gives people enough time to become aware,
mhm.
see what other people have responded. People. The reality is nobody's sitting in the GitHub or the forum just waiting to respond and have conversations about these things. They got to find it.
Yeah.
So I think you need the time. A month and a half is reasonable to me.
Yeah, actually, I'm just gonna change the text right now because
Yeah, might
I
as
don't
well.
want people. So I'm just showing people how to do it. So I go to my GitHub. This is under HeroGamer, and I go to my little folder, which is called like a fork. I have a copy of the zip repo basically, and I go in there directly to make changes.
So
So
you fork the the SIP repository and put it into your own.
yes, so
So
I'll
you
show.
can work on it without actually working on it, without making any changes otherwise, like directly without like
I don't
approval.
have the permission to make changes to the. It hasn't been added into the main zip repo yet.
Yep.
Everything that you saw in the previous page was still in my little hub. I'm still in my little
Oh,
hub.
so this isn't actually in the Stacks Gov GitHub.
Yes. No, this is just,
It's just on the forum and in your own GitHub.
it's essentially in my little place. But you can find it as a PR on here. I submitted the whatever. I don't know why they named it pull request, but anyway, I submitted there. It's visible there, and actually, maybe this is a tell that I can show you why. Um, what I mean, like it's still in my thing. It says Hero Gamer wants to merge blah 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 into stacksgov.main, but it's from my place
Okay, so you have those commits on yours,
on my
and then you submit that to be
this.
added, and then they have to, whoever's managing the GitHub for the StackGov
Mhm.
main will review that and then add it, assuming that they approve it, which is
Yes,
just a matter of time. Probably.
essentially. Yeah, that's exactly it.
So when you change it on yours,
Mhm.
they also that because that's still linking to yours. It changes with what they have. So that update, adding the typo, it's just a typo correction, really.
It's almost like it's there, but it's not in it yet. You can see it, but it's not inside zip repo yet.
Right. But you're connected there because you've made the proposal to add it.
Yes, exactly. It's almost just like a proposal, and it's just sitting on the table, but it's not in the file storage yet. It's not in the constitution yet. Let's say it's a proposal that's been surfaced to the parliament. Let's say, and I have the documentation in my little cabinet. And whenever the parliament make any suggestions, I'll update my cabinet file in my own little hub. And then once I make all the solve all the comments, um, the people in the who manages the constitution will say, okay, this is ready. Uh, Put it into the constitution file cabinet. Cool.
Cool. Yeah, makes sense to me.
Yeah, so I updated this. You can now see it should not be expected here in the, you will refer that to as the main, I guess. So yeah, sorry. I know it's confusing, like, but I'm trying.
Well, it's because you have to be a little bit. None of them can be hard rules because you don't want it to be impossible for an emergency SIP to get pushed through
Yeah,
because of the rules.
I mean, just to clarify for you and for anyone else, emergency SIPs, the codes don't, and this is just a constitution text that say
Right.
it's not like let's say the constitution is wanting to make let's say give everybody $100, right, in stacks. It's just an idea, and it's being written into constitution, but it takes humans to execute that, i.e. The codes don't live here.
Right.
If you want to implement an emergency SIP to fix something, the codes is not here. This is just a specification. Like when Fridger writes this, the implementation details or the codes are not here. This is just a specification to say how we should go about it.
Right. It's how we're going to do what we're going to do,
Yes.
but what you're actually going to do is actually like the code that's being adopted and changed and updated and all that is not in the SIP.
Yeah, it almost like propose like a new function or trait or whatever, depending on the SIP. And then what happens is the code developer will actually take that and almost like write a whole bunch of codes in the actual software itself, the node software upgrade. That's the releases. Those are the things that people actually install on their computer. They don't install this document on their computer. they install a node sort of software on their computer, right?
Right.
I had the same question. I thought I used to think they were both the same, but slowly I come to realize they were different. So it's a good question.
Well, and it makes a lot of sense that it would need to be like one part's governance. SIP is governance, and the other part is the execution phase. You know,
Yeah. So this is the actual GitHub place. So you can see, like, for example, this one, SEP. This is a native passkey thing that was
yep,
specified in the SIP, but actually the Stacks core have its own issue or PR to actually execute the details of it. So this is actually a separate place they work in. People like Bryce and Jude
right.
actually,
This is where the devs actually go to do the
yeah,
dev.
yes, the actual Devi stuff. We can talk about ideas, but ideas is only one thing. To actually get into the software itself, it's a whole separate game that needs testing, that needs different kind of eyes on it, like reviewer. You know, um, there's like recover, like all these different kind of detail functions that doesn't get talked about in such great details, but they are actually. This is why, like, the code developer need their time to do stuff. It's not just write a zip and then the node software somehow knows. Oh, we got a zip and just implement it. No, some people need to do the legwork to actually write the code and test the code to make sure it's safe. Why? Because you're securing money on this software.
Right.
So this is the GitHub at the top. Stacks network, Stacks core, etc. But anyway, I digress. Just to make sure everybody knows, oh, the um, the Stacks forum. This is up there. Please just chime in if you have any idea or any suggestions. All suggestion welcome. This is not a technical SIP, so but it's about how the process should be.
Right. Well, that's important for the the community and anyone that's going to make a SIP proposal to be able to plan
Yeah,
a little
that's
bit. You know, it helps the planning process.
yeah, that's true. I know you raised about SIP deputies. I haven't got around to updating the text, or if we should even. Do you still think we should?
I mean, I don't know what their plan is. You
Yeah,
know,
that's the trouble. I don't know their plans too, so it's a little bit hard for me to make official suggestion because now we don't even write in SIP resident or coordinator in. So the most official guys are SIP editors, CAP members, um,
SIP.
and the coordination and marketing side is somewhat like out of the SIP 31 document.
Yeah, I like the idea of having SIP deputies. I'd like to ask, some of the authors maybe what their opinions are. I think it's helpful to have someone there to represent it on the community
I,
side.
ha- I had a thought like maybe we should make the SIP deputies be part of the SIP editors group so that they are, even though they are called SIP deputy, but they sit in the SIP editors working group or just group.
Well, and that would make it a little bit more functional for the role because then you're directly talking to the editors and the authors,
Yes.
and then you're visible to them as well. So it's more apparent to them that you're there and have a role and what your role is. So
Yeah,
I think that I think having it there and having it a specific defined role would be useful.
Yes.
assuming that they want to do that, assuming that that's ultimately what they decide.
It's almost like SIP editors, let's say assistants or second or coordinator assistant that they can leverage. So somebody like me can also be part of the SIP editors group and be deployed to help the SIP authors, and you the same. So essentially, like we kind of decentralizing my role. Previously, like I handled all the coordination, and actually one of the things that I also need to achieve for the foundation is to document how the SIP coordination works for the SIP calls and maybe the SIP deputies, so that uh, if I go missing, that function process still happens.
You're
Uh,
not allowed to go missing, sir.
yes, um, but yeah, like it's still functional, So that documentation part, I think we also probably need, or at least foundation would like to see that at the that would be one of my deliveries to make sure A is documented, B we have backup to me, which you guys are doing a great job. So, but whether it is somebody from the foundation who can do the zip codes or SIP coordination, or is it community who can do the SIP code or SIP coordination? I think that's yet to be determined, but we can determine the general process there too, and have candidates back up. Just like if a SIP editor goes missing, we have um, somebody who can still run it. Or if Jason suddenly goes is too busy, we also have other member who can step up.
Right. No, it makes sense. It really does.
So it's almost like just from a foundation perspective, they just want to make the overall process cleaner, more well documented. The experience doesn't break down if somebody just not there. So I think it's part of their overall strategy to ensure the governance is it's more polished, let's say.
Yeah, makes sense. It makes sense. And it does make us look a little bit more organized too,
Yeah,
having this all here. Because I mean, we've come a long way with SIP in the last year, Hero.
I
Like
think so. With your
before,
help,
a year ago, the questions were, "How do I propose a SIP? What am I supposed to do?" And the answers were, "I don't know." You know? So it was,
yeah,
it's clear now. If somebody wants to propose a SIP, we know where to send them.
yes. I
Um,
mean, I think it's useful. Maybe for Bitcoin, maybe for the having a bit process, like to know exactly how. Maybe it's not good. I don't know, but I think in our world, it's probably worth having.
well, it's a different world. It is a different world than Bitcoin proper.
And actually, I do want to share with you, and because you know more about this process, I want to make sure you know that there is a conversation happening about the bid process. They're also updating the process. So
Why not?
I would actually encourage you or anybody else. Actually, I'm just gonna post it on forum maybe, just to take maybe there's some little inspiration we can take here and there, and it's being actively discussed um, here. Whether it's like details like dates, I don't know, like little things like they're just proposing little word changes here and there. It's not like challenging, but it's just something that they also talk about, that if we align ourselves, it could potentially make the interoperability easier from a developer coming here perspective. I think it's worth sort of aligning ourselves to Bitcoin a little bit. So, anyways, so
Yeah,
that's another thing.
definitely looks like it's you're gonna put this in the forum.
Yes, but the problem is they have also like a few different threads going on regarding this. Let me check if I already posted. Oh, I have not. Yeah, okay, I'll post it.
Cool, cool. So, uh, I think the last thing on your agenda, you're going to kind of update us on what your role is going to be moving
Yeah,
forward.
yeah. So it's open discussion. So I'll bring up my side. If you have any topic you want to bring up, so so I will continue to do the zip codes at least for the time being. But it will be like more, let's say, detailed, so that every week I will go and post on the forum something um, like what Brandon posted about the town hall. It's almost like a recap.
Perfect.
So if you think about foundation perspective, they just want more access to information, and so that everything is transparent and documented. So I'll just do what I used to do, basically, which I will actually show you what I used to do. In this is issues on the SIP, right? And weekly meeting agenda. You can actually see we started from SIP code 0, Friday 2022. There was a recording even. And I would post the agenda. I would post like links, some meeting notes. I think I don't know if I some notes from the call, and then all the way down, 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 down. I used to post them every week, um, but yeah, I didn't seem to drive more people there, so I kind of kept it like super simple, just like the title of the call and some basic summary, basically. Um, so I'm gonna bring that back a little bit so that we have better governance or SIP related information on Stacks forum.
Nice. I like it. You're able to like track what all of these transcripts from these shows and discussion.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it a lot.
I
That
think this is, level one, right? I mean, at least information is there. Currently, we don't have that information. It's just lives on
just
string.
well, dude, and turn it into an episode of something and make it entertaining to watch is what we need there. Like a
Can
little,
you say that again? Your idea?
yeah, just a brief TLDR video of all of these discussions in like with animated Hero Gamer. That'd be cool.
Okay. I mean, I'm welcoming all the idea. I didn't think about a brief TLDR video, so
Yeah,
almost like a brief SIP or governance video.
yeah. That way people can like listen in and hear what we discussed. Like, hey, we discussed this, this, and this during this week's call. You should definitely,
How many minutes would, or maybe let's say not even minutes, how many seconds?
yeah. I think a quick like 30 to 45 second, maybe minute, the longest, right, would be good to have with this. That way they can see your avatar talking a little bit, like saying what, or it doesn't even have to be animated like that. It could just be like
Okay.
this bullet point, this bullet point, this bullet point, just a visual TLDR. That way when people, and it has like a voiceover on it, that way they're also getting an audio cue saying, okay, this and this, and a visual cue, and then that way they can go in and do more due diligence after if they're interested in the TLDR.
Would you have some sort of a good like North Star that would look like, and I'll just like sort of take a look and see how I can construct it in a way that's similar, or just like,
Yeah, yeah. I'll try to find something where it's like a TLDR of like a little avatar saying we talked about that. Like I'll try to find a good example to send to you.
yeah, yeah. If you have any, I get the idea in my mind already, but it would be good like visually to visualize it.
Yeah,
So yeah, I would imagine like you will have bullet points on a big text like on the video, and me talking in the background,
yeah,
uh, like almost like a quick breakdown of what happened this town hall, or quick breakdown of what happened in this
And it
So,
could be. It doesn't even have to be you like talking. If you use like different tools, like I know that 11 Labs does.
What I'm going to suggest is figure out a way to do it with as little effort as possible to produce, and make a short clip that the drives people to the forum. The forum can also link to the full length video in YouTube. Once we have that, it'll take me probably a couple days, maybe after the live stream, to segment out that clip. But that's something we're also going to go back and do, is cut out all of the SIP call segments over the last several weeks and make those individuals, create a playlist for that, so that all of those calls are actually available to go look at easily, rather than going and pouring through the whole Friday episode and whatnot. Too, GP, you're going to be here, right? I'm going to do a quick restart. My trackpad's not working properly, and
Yeah, I'm here.
like messing things up here. So I'm going to do a quick restart. You guys should stay live.
Yeah, I'm right here, man. I'm in this discussion. I'm trying to figure it out. So restart. It is needed. I'm right here.
yeah, I like that idea, GP. I'll see if Foundation, before I go ahead, do a lot about it, just make sure that they also agree like it's gonna take a bit of time, that
Yeah,
it's worth investing the time into. Maybe I'll do like a prototype or some kind. See
right.
what. Originally, I was just thinking about doing like a TLDR tweet text based, but maybe that's not like.
You should be able to. You should be able to like plug it into some type of LLM workflow and then
Yeah.
get it created. There's some type of workflow there. I was using Google AI Studio for a little bit to animate some of like. So I'll use GIMP and just storyboard the elements. Like say I wanted a character that's speaking and like explaining some bullet points that are popping up on the screen. I would have that character right there, and then just the scene in the background, and then that way you can give that reference image directly to whatever you're using to animate. You know.
What was it that you used?
GIMP. So it's just a general image manipulation program that's
Oh
free.
yeah, I know GIMP.
It's GIMP. GIMP is yeah, it's like free Photoshop. Like yeah, we spoke about GIMP before.
Yeah, but what were you saying about the other one that put the words over it?
So AI Google Studio. So you can use like if you needed text, you could go to Text Studio. And Text Studio, you're able
Oh yes, that thing. Yeah, I remember actually. Hannah showed us.
yeah. So these are some of the tools that I use, and I was using it, showing people how to use in the Zest
Oh
content
yes,
workshops
yes.
and stuff. So use that to make your bullet points, and then
Yeah,
you just have the whatever visual animator AI animate it, and then give the text a little bit of flair. Maybe they pop up at different intervals, or whatever uh, style you deem fit. So
yeah,
it's pretty cool. I like animating that way.
yeah. It's really effective and costs only like a little bit of credit.
Exactly. With AI Studio now you have to have access to their API key, so I don't think they have any free gens anymore. Even though I have 15 emails, I can't go. I've used all my free gens up. So, uh, time to get a subscription, but it's really just VO3. VO3 is what they're using. You use
Yeah,
Gemini.
yeah. Is Peace back?
I think so. Maybe might not be on camera, but he is
I'm
in.
back. I'm back.
Back. Cool. So yeah, one thing is overall from a foundation's perspective, and the work that I will continue to help them is to make the governance stuff more transparent, more public, more engaged, more informed, and we're aware basically. Um, and the next thing would be like there's a lot of working groups that are also sort of a little bit hidden, the information wise. So we all know they host like Clarity Working Group. There's like a marketing as well. There's
Yep.
probably a working group. We need to check with the Stacks Lab people how they dealing with that, but almost like bring that in line with the approach that recently been taken making the information of the town hall recap more visible, bringing in line with the SIPCO recap more visible. Um, I understand, like in terms of agendas and all that kind of discussion stuff, probably a little bit out of my purview, I would say. I think as far as at least bringing surfacing the information wise, I'll probably be going into some of those goals, like make sure and taking notes and making posting notes. That's also like another part of what I will support the Sachs Foundation on, from making the working group information more transparent and discoverable perspective.
No, I like that. To be honest with you here, I think now that we're streaming all day, and I know most of these are kind of public meetings. Obviously, if it's not a public meeting, that's a different story. But like the community working group, we tried to do it in the Discord.
Oh yeah, I was there. Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. You were there. And I mean, there was some issue. I'm not sure exactly what the issue was, and maybe we can get it in there. The whole goal was to just make it more available to the public and create more awareness.
Yeah.
I think maybe doing it in a Google Meet, which is still accessible to everybody, and then I could always screen share it and share that live during. I can stream those sessions live so that now there's a permanent video segment of those conversations. If again, this is if it's meant to be a public meeting. I know some of the meetings are not public. Like the DeFi working group might have some private meetings where they need to talk about some things outside of the immediate purview to get some.
Okay.
Anything that's public, we can stream. We're streaming all day anyway, so we can actually screen share that stuff and then make segments out of it so that it's available content down the line too. If they're interested in us doing that.
Yeah. So yeah, because SIPCO and governance stuff are pretty much fully transparent. I don't think we almost never had a meeting private, right? So yeah, I can imagine some calls being public, but I guess it's almost up to the individual working group to decide that, right?
Right. And I mean, whatever they want to do, we'll work with. I mean, that's if they want to do it, we can cover it. If they don't want to, that's fine. We're not looking. It's not like a take it or leave it, all or nothing kind of thing.
Yeah.
And if they don't want to, even if it's public and they prefer us not do that, that's fine too. Although I would imagine it would be a value add without any real negative implication there.
Yeah. So I currently take granola. I don't know if you guys use it.
What is it?
Granola.
Granola. It's called granola. It takes.
Yeah.
Is it an AI note taker? Like
it's basically like a listening AI tool.
Well,
but like you have like Google Meet, you have like Firefly, they jump into as a bot, but you don't have that on X. You have to use a different tool. So I just use a listening tool on my computer that's AI. It's able to give me the notes like on any platform.
So anything that you're in, it's recording and gives you the notes, which is better than like Otter, which sends to a Google Meet, but it has to be let in, and then it might only have a half an hour and all. So Granola it's local on your device, basically.
Yes. What I was asking sort of that is your clips. How can I get the transcript from this SIPCO easily?
You should be able to. So what happens is I can't clip it off until the stream's done going live. And so once we end the stream later today, probably won't get to it till tomorrow or so. Where at some point I'll be once the clip's done, I go into Google YouTube Studio. I find it. I make a clip of the segment. Now it's its own video. I'll give it a title and add it to a playlist. It should have a transcript then.
I wonder whether there's a way for me to, when you end the stream, I just go and take it into somewhere else to get a transcript.
Actually, I think if I make you a contributor to YouTube account, you can probably go in and you can probably actually go in and make the clips for me. Not that I'm asking you to do that.
Maybe it's just a part of my job to do my job.
The SIP clipper, the official SIP clipper.
The official clipper is dude.
I mean, I need to post on to my forum post anyway. Like, here is the link to the zip code, the full episode, starting at X.
How fast are you looking to turn around to get that forum post out there? Like, if it's
I was thinking today, but I can add things later on. It doesn't matter. I can still post. I'm already taking notes with AI now anyway, so I can make my text-based posts and then add the broadcast.
Just be added to another post below in the forum, or you can even edit that post probably and add it too if you wanted to.
Oh, I cannot edit. Yeah, I have the access to edit on my own posts.
Right. So yeah, I mean, we can try to make sure that the turnaround is as rapid as possible, but it won't be until at the very least, it's not. We can't clip it until it's done broadcast.
Yes, yeah, I got you. Just understand the logistics. Okay, no problem. Yeah. Cool. But anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about today. Do you have anything else you want to bring up?
I don't. I know that there's a lot going on. We could definitely talk about a lot of stuff, but we covered, the two main things that are sticking out to me right now that we didn't talk about today, that are SIP related, that people should be getting involved in the conversations more if they can, if they have any input on them, is Larry's SIP and Freeger's SIP. I don't think we need to go into deep detail on it right now. Yeah. We can maybe plan for that maybe next Friday. Although next Friday I might be GP
in Argentina, right?
I'll be well. My flight doesn't go out until a couple hours from now, so I technically could do it. But it's better for me to be packed and have all my in order for me to pack, I can't run the show.
Focus. Yes.
You can tune in and listen in.
I'll tune in. Right. I might even tune in from my phone.
Yeah, I need to work out with Stacks Foundation, who is actually be like more actively engaged with getting the SIP advance, because I'm not sure if they want to handle it, or is it still like in the meantime me and then change it into the future. There's still a few kinks to work out in terms of ownership of responsibilities, basically.
The SIP needs a mascot. The SIPs need a mascot.
like an animal?
He's a cup. He's like a teacup.
Oh,
fancy. Okay. You take a sip.
With a pinky.
How about a hummingbird?
You gotta put the pinky out too.
How about hummingbird?
How does a hummingbird?
I saw so many hummingbirds yesterday. It's ridiculous.
Taking a sip from a feeder. I like that.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So we're getting somewhere.
Okay, cool. I won't take too much of your time. Just to say thank you guys for keep hosting this. We'll continue to host it in the meantime. There's a little bit shift in my responsibilities, but I'll keep working with the governance cap people and the foundation, so that everybody knows what's up.
Yeah, and honestly, Hero, I just want to reiterate again, we appreciate. I know it's a good opportunity, and I think we're doing a good job covering this on DeOrganized here. But I want to appreciate, we appreciate the opportunity to have this content, to host these events, to get, especially the big ones when we have the full panel and Bryce is on, and Off is on, and Larry.
For me, that's that's the most constructive ad as a group that we can do. Yes. Having the SIP author, I think that's when we truly shine, in my opinion. If I had to take one of the most sort of useful stuff out of our effort, would be some of those good calls. Therefore, I'll be documenting a little bit, maybe what are the good practices to making those calls happen. I mean, there's no science to that or something like that. It's not like super rocket science or anything like that, but just having the right people on it, like reaching out to them and stuff like that. Yeah, for sure. I think it's a really useful tool that we can do as a community, and quite often the SIP author, they didn't think about some of the stuff that was brought up, and uh, the SIP gets better, refined, improved. That's the whole point.
The SIP gets better. The community gets a little bit of exposure to it. We have some evergreen content about it, which we're gonna
Yeah,
do
from
a little
your
bit
perspective.
more with curating that now too. So I mean, I can't see any negative side to doing it, and lots of benefits.
Yeah, great job you guys are doing. So I'm looking forward to your Argentina stream. Peace.
Well, yeah, we'll be. So I'll probably be doing more like
Pop in.
pop in and maybe less live interview. I don't know what the. I have no idea how good my connectivity is going to be able to do live streaming for like interviews. So I might just plan on doing them like do the interview and then edit it, go back to my room, edit it, upload it. Then I can actually join the stream from there and stuff like that. It's just I would love to go walk around and live stream everything, but my experience from Vegas was that's not super functional
Hmm.
on
Yeah,
location.
cool. But it's a step in the right
We
direction.
will have there will be lots of content. We're going to be at Hacker House. We're going to be at the Bitcoin Builders conference event that Stacks is helping host. There's a bunch of other stuff. SheFi. There's a Stacks meet and greet. Bunch of cool stuff going on. So I'm excited.
Actually, by the way, one thing when you are there, I'm pretty sure Blockface will talk to you about UDC and Stacks AI Guild. But next Monday, are you two free to join our community space AI Guild? And we'll hash out a little bit about the actual event date in December. Because I think Blockface has some ideas. Just want to make sure, like the media coverage from
We're
your
we got added to a Telegram channel
yeah
yesterday
yeah
too. So
yeah.
that's yes, but I should be available for 3 p.m. on Monday.
It
Regular.
will be like maybe 1 or 2 p.m. because 3 p.m. is getting late in their time. I just want to make sure more people can be involved. So
Okay,
with
so
1 or 2 p.m.
we're
Okay.
trying to move that to one o'clock on the regular. I think that would be better for you guys too. To be honest, I think that would be a better time slot. Later on Monday is tough
I
because
think there
people are.
used to be something on Monday 1 p.m., but I don't see it on your calendar anymore.
Yeah, me
So
and me and three were gonna do reaction content at 1 on 3 on Mondays, but I think that doing the sip call and then rolling into that might be really cool.
The
no,
AI.
Central will still be on Friday. I'm talking about the Monday AI Guild community space.
Oh yeah, yeah. So we would already have. Oh yeah, yeah. So what if we did a show, an AI show
Yeah, we can do AI show if you want.
with the AI X Guild?
Inside of the community space.
I think that
Uh,
would be cool.
We could definitely do that. Like do the space, then roll into a show.
Yeah, for sure. We could do.
Well,
Yeah,
we'll discuss it more on Monday.
yeah.
but what time is let's say for the moment community call on space on Monday, and we can discuss that. What time is good? 1 or 2 p.m. ET.
What's better for you?
Oh no.
We'll work with whatever you need, Hero.
Okay.
We'll build it in the sky.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna say just like maybe 1 p.m. because I don't see anybody taking that slot. So people from the African continent probably have like fresher brains
Mm.
because I
Yeah,
feel
it's not way after dinner. You know, it's not. It's not. They're not falling asleep. You know,
yeah,
It's not bedtime yet,
yes.
unless they're
Uh,
old like me. That's just
yeah,
about
and I'll
it.
get Blockface on. We can talk about sort of the social broadcasting side running up to the event and on the day of the event, and then you guys can talk more and catch up in Argentina.
That
Perfect.
sounds cool.
Cool. All right, I'll send you guys some invite. But yeah, cool. That's all. And actually, good news on the Stacks AI front. We managed to get AI credits, or will be getting AI credit for 300.
Nice.
Uh,
Let's go.
So yeah, we I don't know if you heard GP.
No, I haven't.
Eric.
So
Talking about,
Xinc,
yeah. Go ahead, Hero.
yeah, we were doing a live stream. I don't know the other day, Xinc, and 300 basically showed what he can do. And I was like, okay, so why don't we make some good stuff for you, Xinc, and you help support content creators AI credits like 300, so T can make stuff for you and for other people. So hopefully we'll have like us like I mean it doesn't cost like huge amount, but I think that will be the biggest unlock to
Sponsor,
300.
let's go.
It's a valuable credit that he doesn't have to spend his own money on, and
Yes,
it's
dude.
sponsored by X Inc.'s Eric,
Oh,
and we'll have even more awesome content coming out of 300, as an ecosystem.
let's go, dude. Congrats, man, to the Stacks AI Guild, and also congrats to X Link and Eric for this collab, man. Because this is the beginning. This is what it is, like sponsoring our creators that are out here grinding and trying to provide value, right? Is important. So big shout out to X Link and the Stacks AI Guild. Huge.
Yeah, he will just buy a certain amount of credit, right, and then hopefully it'll last him for a while. So yeah, one of my goals now, I realized for the end of the year, would be to get Nosferatus and Bolipig, something similar. So yeah, hopefully we'll find some other sponsors, and it's good for the sponsor. 300 created some crazy shit, like just looks so professional. Um, like videos and images with X Inc.'s outfit already, it's insane without him getting the sponsorship, and he's already making those stuff, and I think that's one of the reasons why Eric would trust him to do it, because Eric has already seen what can be done, and now he's willing to sponsor that.
By the way, hoodies from X Inc. are based very comfortable and kept me warm in the cold last night. I tell you that much.
It
And
makes me look a little less chubby than I
it
actually.
is, man. And you got the deep pockets too, right? And then you got the one pocket, dude. The hoodies are great.
The zip collar, which is like a little bit angled.
Yeah.
Well, on the V1, I like it in the middle because it looks like a little more professional.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I feel like
And I said I know somebody from the UK, well, a Stacks member. I don't know if you remember Nat Cole.
Yeah,
But he basically has like connection in the UK to maybe help Eric with the distribution side of things. So we're just like helping each other. Anyway,
awesome.
I won't remember.
All right, guys, we can we'll end this sip call and another great sip show. I think it's episode like 150 something.
crazy.
Yeah, GP is 150 or maybe 160, but I'll just say 150, and we can start counting from 150 next week. 151.
Let's go, dude. Let's go. Congrats, Hero. Grinding as always, man. It's a huge accomplishment, dude. That's a lot, man. So
I mean, you guys are doing it much shorter time. You've probably done like, I don't know, 500 already. It's fucking insane. I just do it one week.
Yeah, with the night show and everything, we've definitely done.
Oh man, we need to create a song for Xing now.
oh, dude.
We'll have to do another. Yeah.
You like
Who
it?
made this?
I made this. So what I realized, this is completely not typical now. So what I realized with Suno is when I tell it to go like generic, it does generic. But what I did with this one, because you remember like a few weeks ago, I did like, it sounded too pop.
It was a little too happy.
It was
Yeah.
just like vibe happy kind of popular song, So what I basically did was I told it to go sophisticated, and
Nice.
it made a whole difference. And I gave it like specificity. I said like, I like rock, I like jazz, so I said give it like rock and jazz with like make it sophisticated. That for somebody like Stas code dev, highly intelligent people would like to hear. So that's
I
why.
think it's great. The lyrics are great. The musicality is great. I think you did an excellent job, sir.
Yeah, thanks. I'll keep practicing my skill. Okay.
Let's go.
It becomes
I think
addictive.
I think it's so fun. I think this could be the first thing that they learned in the AI guild, or actually Web 2 people coming to Stacks. Rather than getting them to create like images and video content, maybe the Web 2 people coming to Stacks, this is one of the first things they do, like make a music.
Music makes the world go round.
Yeah, make a music, and then slowly we will, get you deeper into making AI content, AI visual content about Leo. But first, make a music that you enjoy, so you know the power of AI, and then we will show you other parts of AI power.
Right, and it's an easy lift too.
It's super
Cool.
easy.
Right,
It's actually quicker than vibe coding.
it's fast. It's real
It's-
fast. It makes the songs in less than a minute. You got something to listen to. You have a result. It takes longer to type in what you want than it does to generate the song.
Does it have memories or it doesn't? Like, because ChatGPT has memory, so it helps. But I feel like this one, you could just have. Yeah, I'm just
Well,
thinking
you
like.
have it has the song you created, and there's content about that. Did you see? Check out yesterday's morning show because Orange has been producing songs and like learning how to like. He really has dove into Suno, and he was
Uh-huh.
showing us some stuff yesterday as to his processes for
Okay.
getting it to make the
Oh,
song.
I missed that. Oh yeah, yesterday. Sorry, I was out. I was actually cutting grass. But
Good for
but
you.
yeah, no, it's interesting his process. I love it. How did he hear about Suno then? From us?
Yeah.
Wow,
Come on.
that's so cool.
I'm watching the show.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm gonna go eat my lunch. We're gonna play some content. We'll have more stuff going throughout the rest of the day. Get out and support your ecosystem. And thank you all for tuning in today. I'm Peace Love Music. We are DeOrganized Media, coming at you live on Bitcoin Live Decentralized Broadcasting every Monday through Friday, and every Friday with the weekly Stacks Improvement Proposal show. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Hero. Thank you, GP. Y'all have a
Thank you,
blessed
guys.
rest of your day.